your kind no more. You're more like an auntie. You're all that I need. Sweeter than my Tennessee honey.
Hey y'all, what it is, what's up? It's your girl DESI DES back here with another freaking video. And today y'all, I have a freaking story time, okay? As y'all can tell by the title, this is a crazy story time. This is about my Brazilian wax horror story. This was my first time ever getting a Brazilian wax, and it was terrible, okay y'all? Terrible. I don't even know what made me go back and get more, but I'm gonna jump into the story. Before I do, make sure you subscribe to your girl channel. I just spit. Make sure you subscribe to your girl channel. Why would you even watch your girl and not subscribe? I wouldn't do you like that, so don't do me like that. Period. Poo. Not more, not less. And let's jump into it. So this was when I was actually in high school, and everybody was talking about getting a Brazilian wax and this and that, and I'm like, oh, okay, Brazilian wax, ooh. So like, I really don't remember if I was going somewhere on spring break or if it was prom. It was either prom or it was spring. No, it was spring break, because I remember I put my bathing suit on. It was spring break. So let me tell y'all, I was in high school, which means I was 17 years old. Was that 17 or 16? I don't remember. 17 or 16 years old, and I was 17. I was 17 years old, and I told my mom, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and get a wax, whatever. She's like, girl, you just trying stuff. I don't do that. So I'm like, no, I'll be fine, okay? I'll be fine. So I found this thing on Groupon, and it was around the corner from my house. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Groupon, it was like $25. I was like, bet, this is perfect. It's good for me to just try it, see how I like it, whatever. So I bought the Groupon and I went to go get my wax. I told my friend to come with me because I was nervous. Okay, so my friend came with me, whatever. We pulled up, we got there. I told the lady, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm here for a wax. Here's my Groupon thing, whatever. So she's like, oh, okay, well, just wait right here and I'll be right with you. And I'm like, first of all, y'all, when we come in, this is a hair salon, okay? Strictly hair salon, like lined up like this. So I'm like, where would I be getting waxed at? So I go to the back. I didn't say nothing though, because it's my first time. You know, I don't know how this stuff go. So I don't say anything, and I just walked to the back when she said, come on. And she said that my friend couldn't come. My friend had to stay in the front. I was like, okay, fine. So my friend stays in the front. It was my best friend. She stays in the front, which some of y'all may think it's weird that she was gonna comb me anyway, but it really wasn't weird, because like, stop being weird. It wasn't like that. It was just like for emotional, moral support. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so I walked to the back, y'all. It is this tight little room, okay? This super tight little room. Like the bed is right here. Like the whole bed takes up the whole room. And like the lady is like squeezing, and she was a little chubby. She like squeezing, whatever. And she got this little lamp on side the bed, and that was it. It was like tiny, okay, y'all? So she like, okay, take your clothes off from the bottom down. And so I'm like, okay. So I took off everything except my panties. So I kept my panties on because I'm like, I don't know why I kept them on. I don't know if I thought she was gonna move them out the way. I don't know what I thought. But she was like, is this your first time? And I was like, yeah, why? And she was like, cause you kept the panties on. What I'm gonna do with this? And I was like, she had a bad attitude from the jump. I should have stole off on her ass. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So I took them off, whatever. And then she was like, okay. So then she looks and she goes, oh, a lot of hair. And I was like, huh? And she was like, a lot of hair. And I was like, is it too much? And she was like, no, your hair is just dark. And I'm like, why is she like saying all this? Like, is she trying to talk about me? So then she was like, oh, pretty, whatever that means. She went like this, oh, pretty. And I'm like, pretty? And why did you just slap it? Like, girl, like the top, like, okay. I'm like, girl, oh, pretty. So I'm like, okay, let me just ignore this, because the vibes is getting weird. So she's like, okay, sit down, get on the table, you know, open your legs like butterfly. So I'm like, okay. So I do it, y'all. First of all, when she put the wax on, she burnt me. She burned me with the wax the first time. And I was like, it's hot. like, you're burning me. She was like, oh, it's just because it's your first time. It's always this hot. I get waxes now. She was lying. She burnt me. That wax was way too hot. She should have cooled that junk down a little bit before she put that on me. But whatever. So it was burning hot. And I was like, ah. And I have a high pain tolerance for like hot stuff, like on my skin. Like I take burning hot showers. Like stuff just don't be hot to me for real. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to like my skin and like touching hot stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So it was hot, whatever. She put it on me. So then she put the tape in there. Y'all, when she did the first rip, I stretched my leg out and I kicked the shit out of her. Like, it was so bad. It was really so bad, y'all. When I tell y'all I kicked the shit out of her, like, she went back on the wall. Because I told you I was, like, tight. So she just, like, the wall was, like, right there. She, like, went back on the wall. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? And I was like, oh, I just wasn't expecting that. It was, like, it kind of hurt. So she was like, this is why I don't deal with people that's on their first time, whatever, whatever. She started saying all this stuff. And I was like, I said, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? So after that, she continues going, y'all. She is going so rough. You know when somebody mad and they just doing your stuff like they mad? That's how she was. She was being so freaking rough. So I told her, I was like, listen, I made a mistake and kicked you, but what you're not gonna do is sit up here and treat me like this and be rough like this. I said, yeah, this is my first time, but I'm pretty sure this is not how it go. Like, I was ready to steal off on her ass because, girl, she was going so hard. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just get me out of here at this point. I'm mad. I'm like, get me out of here. So then she was like, okay, you done. Put the stuff back on. Like, she stopped abruptly. So I looked down, and it's, like, still hair there. And I'm like, it's still hair. She was like, well, you shaved, and you're not supposed to do that. So the next time you come, it'll be different. It'll all come off, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay. Like, you know, like, it's my first time. So I'm just like, okay, fine. But y'all, it was still hair there, like, and I'm like, it's like it was so bad, y'all. But anyway, so after that, at the beginning, she made me sign a waiver thing, and it said, are you allergic to baby powder, or do you have sensitive skin? I put yes, I have sensitive skin, and yes, I'm allergic to baby powder. So like, I'm just sitting here like thinking to myself, I got my head like back and my eyes closed, and I feel her pat something on me and it's like dry. So I look down and it's freaking baby powder. And I'm like, bro, I cannot do baby powder. I said on the waiver, I checked that I am allergic to baby powder. So then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, wiped it off real fast. And then she put tea tree. But I'm like, it's too late. Like, my pores were already open from this freaking wax, and you put freaking baby powder on me. Now, what the freak is gonna happen? I don't know. But then she put the tea tree after that, and I'm like, hopefully the tea tree just like helped it, whatever, whatever. So then, whatever, I go home, and I tell her, I was like, is there any way you can give me my money back? Because there's still hair here, and you did it mad rough. She was like, well, you kicked me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Whatever. Let me go. So, because y'all, when I tell you I kicked her so hard, bro, I kicked the shit out of her. It was really bad. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let me just go. So I leave. Whatever. Y'all, before I even get home, I'm on the way home, and my area is itching. It was so bad. It was itching so freaking bad. Like, I was having an allergic reaction. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. Like, it was itching so freaking bad. So then I was like, I'll see you when I get home, whatever, whatever. I didn't even say nothing to my friend because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm itching. So I didn't even say nothing to my friend. I was just like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was telling her how I kicked her and this and that. She was going mad hard and she burned me with the wax. Like, I told her all that. And then I told her about like the baby powder, but I didn't tell her I was itching because like, it was really bad. And I'm driving home, and you know how you like gotta move? I was doing all that on the way home. She probably knew something was up, but I think I ended up telling her later, but I didn't tell her at that time. So then anyway, so I go home and I'm like, oh, let me see. Yeah, I look down and it is fire red. Fire red, and a rash everywhere. And I'm like, oh my god. Are you serious? Mind y'all, this is not even 24 hours after. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? No way. this didn't happen to me. Yes, it was happening to me. So I'm like, okay, I got all this allergy stuff. I had some Benadryl cream too, so I was like, oh, let me put Benadryl cream on it because I got eczema. I put my eczema cream and I put Benadryl cream. So I was like, oh, I'll see in the morning, I should be fine. I put on my allergy stuff, took an allergy pill. I was like, I'll be fine. I wake up the next morning, exact same. It didn't get worse, but it definitely didn't get better. And I was going on spring break. But the next day we were going on our trip. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, okay, when I go to the pool, I'm gonna see. Y'all, I put my bikini on and all you see on the sides is fire redness. Like red. Like you gotta see it. Like it's crazy. And I'm like, bro. So the whole time on spring break, it was red. After it turned red, it turned like brownish. You know how like you got a rash and it's red and then it turns like brown and it's like dry. Not brown, but like, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. So yeah, that's how it was. And I was so freaking embarrassed. Like, I don't even know what made me go get another wax after that experience. Honestly, what did it was I had got a sugar wax after. I heard a lot about a sugar wax and I was like, oh, I'll try a sugar wax. And then I just switched over back to regular wax one day. But yeah, that was my horror story of getting a wax the first time. It was when I lived in Atlanta. I was in Swanee. If I knew the name of the place, I would put it on here and tell y'all, because I don't want y'all to ever go there. That place was so bad. It was at a hair salon. It was in the back of it, but it was on Groupon for $25. I should have known better than to do that, but I'm always trying to save a coin. That's what I get. Dang, bro, that's so sad. That is so sad to even think about it back here, because it was burning so freaking bad. And I was like, bro, what is wrong with me? Like, something is going wrong. But that's all for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I have more story time for y'all. I'm actually about to sit here and film another one because I have another exciting story time I'm going to talk about my first time at the strip club. That's a crazy one too. But make sure y'all like this video and comment and tell me if you had a horror story with your Brazilian wax too, because I know for a fact that I'm not the only one. I know I can't be the only one. So make sure y'all share me y'all stories too. And until next time, love y'all, bye.
Where you come from, they don't make your kind no more. You're more like an auntie, you're all that I need. Sweeter than my Tennessee honey.